Hi, how are ya? It's Traviseen here, and welcome back to our adventures with Elsent the Worgen Hunter. Today we are back in Ungoro Crater. We're going to do a quest for Ithis Moon Warden, glowing to the north. The flora of Ungoro Crater are quite remarkable, to be sure. Wouldn't you agree, Elsent? Ah, did Garl send you? How are his studies coming? I find that he can be a bit slow at times, but he's truly a force to be reckoned with when he takes the form of the bear. Now we have more pressing matters to attend to. Bouquets of Death. You're already familiar with the first phase of the blood petal's life cycle. The waterborne seed in the next phase, however, is not so docile, the pack of juveniles. When blood petals hatch, they quickly form gangs and travel together, offsetting their weakness. With overwhelming numbers, these packs of young lashers normally keep to themselves, but upset one of them and you will upset them all. For our safety and the safety of others, dispose of them. They roam close by to the west and to the north. All right, so let's fight these guys. Not too bad. Okay. So you probably should just drop this trap. Doesn't do too much, actually. There we go. Just had to do a little multi-shot. I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. Feeling better. Still don't have the cam up, but we'll get it back going soon. I'm kind of just testing it out to see if people maybe enjoy not having the cam on more. I think it might be a little bit more immersive. But who knows? We'll try it for a bit. I'll probably bring the cam back. I've been using the cam ever since I started the channel. I've just been taking a break from it ever since I got sick and all that. All right, so here we go. Which ones do we have to get? Like, oh, we have to get rid of the entire pack. Okay. As long as we got disengage and multi-shot, should be good to go. And we haven't seen a pterosaur yet. Or a devilsaur. I wonder if we'll see one soon. Or maybe they took them out in Cataclysm. Maybe Deathwing destroyed all of the devilsaurs in Azeroth. And there has been a little bit of drama in gaming that I've been paying attention to the last couple of days about games that are live service games and the problem of them eventually going, you know, offline and then the game just disappears, like a game that you purchase just doesn't exist anymore. And what live service games are pretty much online games, or they're considered like gas games as a service. And World of Warcraft is actually a live service game. Bouquets of Death. You return victorious. Good, good. Perhaps the crater will now be a bit safer to those who travel through it. Look how strangely the plant life reacts to the blood petals. In the rolling gardens to the north, the trees are enveloped with more flowers and vines than usual. Large sporous blossoms project themselves from the ground where they once did not. The land is speaking to us, Worgen. The blood petals are destroying the balance. It's my final task. I ask you to visit the swarming adult blood petals and prune their numbers. There's another quest here, but I don't know how the heck we get up here. It's Crystal Spire. Maybe we'll find our way up there later. But yeah, games as a service. Could you imagine, like, say World of Warcraft just stopped getting as much, like, that many subscribers? It's probably will happen one day. And then they just say, you know what, guys? We can't afford to really keep this game going anymore. So we're gonna keep, end the game. And you won't be able to log in anymore. I don't think that's a problem, because if the company can't, is losing money, keeping the game up, there's barely anybody playing or subscribing to WoW, then it's totally fine if they shut it down. But the problem is say somebody sets up a private server, are they going to take that private server down after the fact that they've stopped, funding the game? I guess if the game isn't that popular, that private server wouldn't do too well. But who knows? Maybe there's a person out there that just, that's willing to keep it up even though, it's costing them money. Even if it's just one server. Oh, there's one right there. Found a Devil's Sword. That looks awesome. That's my favorite one. Kind of looks like the big dinosaur guy from Beasties. The T-Rex from Beasties. I don't know if you guys remember that show, Beasties. I think it's called Beasties, isn't it? It's like a Transformers. Yeah, it's called Beast Wars. I don't know why I called it Beasties. But yeah, it was a show I watched back in the day when I was a kid. I forget his name in Beasties or Beast Wars. Optimus Prime was a gorilla. I remember that. I don't know. I can't find it. I'm looking on Google, but I can't really find it. It's been a while, but they brought back Beasties actually to. I think it's on Netflix now. I was actually surprised to see that. It's a show I actually liked quite a bit as a kid. Oh, look at that. We're gonna fight this guy. Just want to take a few screenshots. I remember they would say terrorize these guys. Oh gosh, this guy's not taking any damage. He's just evading everything. It's too bad. That means we can't kill him. Kind of sucks. Keeps looking at us though. Look at this guy. Be awesome to have him as a mount. You can actually, I believe you can tame them too. You can have them as a pet. I would try to do that. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, Megatron. Yeah, it was like Megatron terrorize. That's what he would say. Good old Megatron. That's what he kind of looks like. But yeah, back to talking about live service games. It'd be terrible if they got rid of World of Warcraft, but I think they should allow somebody to have open a private server as long as they're not putting a paywall behind it. Right? I know there's some private servers that do collect money via, I think, like skins or in-game stuff. But I think none of the private servers are behind a paywall, sort of how like World of Warcraft is with a subscription. Still need green? Yeah, we still need some green power crystals. Got another quest over here that we should pick up. This stuff's still good. You find what appears to be a crate of food left behind when this camp was abandoned. On the outside of the crate, you can make out a stamp that says property of Marshall Expeditions. Perhaps you might find someone who could use this. All right, so we got to bring that back to the expedition. I guess first we'll turn this in. And what live service games are, guys, if you don't know. They're just games where you're not actually buying the game. It's in the TOS. You're just buying the license to use the game. Like, you don't really own World of Warcraft, even though you buy the expansion. Because they can just shut the servers down and you can't play it. Right? So we just buy the right to use it, which is kind of weird. The scent of blood petal pollen hangs about your head. Hunter, this is good. You've earned your reward. All right, so we got a gun here. It's not as good as our Carapace spine crossbow. And then there's a back piece. I think we'll take the gun and sell it. The Eastern Pylon. High up in the cliffs above me, there is a large crystal pylon. Who placed it there, I cannot say, nor can I determine any reason that it would be built in such a strange place. Maybe you can make more of it than I can. I personally don't care what it does, so you needn't report back to me, but perhaps one of the scholars in Marshall's stand might be interested in what you discover. Oh, so so he had to teleport us up here. Well, that's interesting. The crystal pylon of Ungoro are a mystery to the few inhabitants here. They are a source of legend, with much speculation as to their purpose. Examine the pylon. It looks like it's heading to the other side of Ungoro. The pylon seems to be transmitting data somewhere. A closer inspection of the pylon leads you to find a small table containing yellow, red, and green crystals arranged in what seems to be a specific formation. A large blue circle of crystals is flanked on either side by a smaller circle of yellow crystals and another of green crystals. You carefully take note of what you see, knowing that someone may be very interested in hearing about what you have found. And that's going to lead us back to Marshall's expedition. So that's what we're going to do now. We'll head back there. Maybe get some crystals along the way. I think we have all the... Yeah, we're good with blues. Yeah, a lot of games are live service games. Majority of Blizzard games are. Like, Hearthstone is a live service game. Can you imagine they stopped playing Hearthstone? Like, you couldn't play Hearthstone anymore. It just disappeared. No one was playing it. So they're just like, yeah, we're just not going to you know, keep the server up, and you just can't play, and then all those cards you bought and earned, and they're gone. That'd be brutal. People spent thousands of dollars on those cards. I don't know what they're going to do about that. Supposedly in Europe, they might bring it to their, I guess, their parliament or something like that. And there's people out there that want to make sure that these companies can never shut down their game, and they have to keep it up indefinitely. And there's like kind of an argument saying that that's not a good thing, because then company, if that becomes the case, then companies won't even create live service games anymore.
Hello. Safe travels.
What have you got there?
See you around.
Oh, wow. It's some really old food. Holy Annie. Take a look at this. This Worgen brought us those old rations that we abandoned. No, not from Marshall's Refuge, from the old base camp. Bolden turns back toward you. I'm not sure I want to peek inside. I'll just give it to Nolan. I guess he'll know what to do with it.
Have a good one.
Okay. There's a water boy. Blood elf mage.
My, you're a tall one.
The eastern
He's seeing
pylon. You were right to bring this pylon to my attention, Elsent. This is just the sort of thing I've been
Off and
studying.
away.
Okay. So we didn't unlock any new quests at the expedition. So I guess we will we'll head over here to the mossy pile. Try to collect some more crystals. And in any game where you, like, you know, do online purchases, or you bought skins and all that stuff, and the game just stopped, like, goes away. I actually played a game like that. I forget the name of it. It was a shooter. I don't know if anybody have to look on Steam. But I played it quite a bit back in the day. And they shut down the server. They just shut it down. And you could buy skins for it. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. I have to go to my Steam profile to find it. But it happened to me before. It was just like it had a small community. It wasn't big. It's just a shooter. And you could buy skins and stuff. I think I might have bought a skin. And then, you know, the game disappears, right? Because it's a live service game, and then you just lose what you purchased. It's kind of lame. I hope that never happens with WoW. But if it does, I hope somebody out there tries to keep it going with like a private server or something like that. That's one thing I like about private servers. Is that, you know, yeah, it does give some people an option to play to play the game without, you know, without it being like, I guess, you know, tied to Blizzard. Or give someone an option to like try out WoW without like paying a subscription. But the main reason why I usually stay away from private servers is because they can just get shut down at any moment, right? And then you just feel like you just lost like everything you earned.
Time is money,
Which really
friend.
sucks. We came here to Unguro with one objective in mind: profit. My associates and I are always looking for business partners if you're interested.
Be good.
Very well. If Quixley recommended you, then I suppose you're all right. In all our years working together, Quixley never steered me wrong.
Have a good one.
Oh, so we got a bunch of quests
What's
here.
up? Keep it real.
Marshals refuse. A big part of making money is shamelessness. You have to be willing to profit off of the misfortune of others. It all ends up boiling down to one question: how much do you love money? When Marshall and his crew abandoned their refuge up to the north, oh, they actually abandoned that. Left behind lots of supplies. The stuff isn't rare or even particularly valuable, but it's there if you're willing to take it. This camp is up in the cliffs to the north. Oh, and be on the lookout for whatever it was that made them leave. Yeah, up here, yeah. So they abandoned it, eh? I guess maybe because, who knows, maybe Deathwing attacked it. Hard to harvest. The Lakari tar pits just north of here conceal a hidden treasure, rare flowers that grow at the bottom of the pits. These tar blossoms, as they're called, are valued for their beauty and their durability. It's been a while since I last harvested tar blossoms, so there should be some new plants growing at the bottom of the pits. Grab some for me, by the way. Good luck swimming in tar. It's nothing like swimming in water. Super sticky. I'm always looking for a quick way to earn a gold. Elson, if you help me with my newest idea, I'll let you in on a little of the profit. How does that sound to you? I thought so. We're going to make some glue. Heard of the tar pits just north of here? And collect me some tar. Not just any tar. Now you'll need to get it from the beasts that live around the tar pits. As a bonus, if you use my tar scraper on their corpses, you'll keep their hands nice and clean.
Talk to me.
I'm making a flying machine. I got stranded here, and I'm absolutely horrible at finding my way around. I take a griffin or a wind rider back to Gadgetzan, but those beasts just scare me to death. So will you help me? All I have left to build is the wings, and I was thinking that the webby scales from the pterodax in the screaming reaches to the west would be perfect. There's no way I'm going to go up against one of those, but you look pretty tough. Why don't you give it a try? Alright, so we picked up everything we could here at this camp.
What brings you here? Ancestors.
Yeah, let's be on our way. We have a bunch of quests now we can do. I think we'll just head north and we'll deal with the tar blossoms and the super sticky tar. And we'll also pick up all of these discarded supplies. I really want to find the name of that game. It might have been called Monday Night Combat. I know you can't play that anymore. They got rid of it. I used to play that game quite a bit. Last played was in 2012. It was like a long time ago, 12 years ago. And yeah, I think that game got shut down. That was another live service game, and you could buy skins from it. And I think I did buy it, or was it free? I don't know. Yeah, Loadout. That's another one. Another live service game I played that just disappeared. Played that back in, last time I played was 2015. So 9 years ago. And I think, yeah, they shut down their servers as well. It was a fun game. It was just a fun little shooter type game. Arcade style. Yeah, it is sad when they do that. It's happened to private servers too. When they shut down private servers, everybody just like goes to the capital city and they just, you know, get on their mounts and spam text. It is a sad moment. I remember watching the videos when they were shutting down WoW in China. Brutal to see. Like, could you imagine you collected all these mounts, you put in so much time, you know, you've subscribed for years, probably bought some cosmetics on the store as well, purchased a bunch of expansions, and then the game just disappears. But it could eventually happen one day. We'll see what happens though with it. I think there should be a law about it. Like if a company abandons the game, I think they should be allowed. They should allow people to use the IP. But I doubt that'll happen. So, like, you know, people that still like the game can still play the game. I doubt that'll happen, though. The law in Canada around copyright is you can use somebody's art if the creator of the art, or say like an author of a book, after they pass away, 50 years after that, you can use their use their art without there being any copyright issues. And I think it's a little, like, for games it'd be kind of interesting because it isn't a person who created WoW. It was like a corporation called Blizzard. So I guess it would have to be like 50 years after, you know, that company died. But it hasn't really died because it just, you know, gets sold and then merges into another company, like it merged into Activision, and then eventually Blizzard now is merged into Microsoft. So it could, you know, you're never going to be able to get out of that, I don't think. Well, I don't know, maybe 200 years from now. You know, say, who knows? But there's always going to be copyright issues is what I'm saying. So the companies are most likely just going to be able to shut it down. But that's only in Canada. Maybe copyright laws are most likely different from country to country, but that's how it is where I live. And who knows, when the world can completely change overnight and all the rules can change. But that's whatever. Until like anything, whatever. Until something happens like that. Yeah, I think companies should be a little lenient towards people that, you know, want to continue playing the game that they put so much time and money into. I don't really see World of Warcraft going anywhere anytime soon. A lot of people playing the game. Why are we not getting any super sticky tar? Oh, we have to remove it. My bad. It's kind of like skinning. Yeah, we'll probably start seeing a lot of games eventually fall off like that. And who knows if like, say, like a country's parliament creates a rule where, you know, like the EU, supposedly they're going to try, and like and live service games have to keep their games up indefinitely. There's like a law. But yeah, maybe we won't see as many new live service games coming out anymore due to the risk of having to keep it up indefinitely forever. There has to be like a middle ground, I think. Maybe that's why it'd be good if they brought it to like a parliament to discuss, and then they created like a middle ground so players can still, you know, play the game, and these companies don't have to take on such a financial burden like keeping a game up that's not profitable forever. Tar blossoms. I wonder where those are. They're right down here. Yeah, swimming in this is kind of rough. You only need 4 though, so it's not too bad. Still need these yellow crystals? Yeah, we do. And so many, like, I guess Microsoft games now, or Activision games, Blizzard games, are live service games. Like Overwatch is one, Call of Duty. I think games that are single player, that you can play single player, and they're considered, you know, live service games. Like, you know how Call of Duty has a single player? That you should not take that away from someone who purchased the game. Could you imagine you played a single player game, or you just want to play the single player mode of a game that you purchased, and they're like, no, the game doesn't exist anymore. We're no longer, you know, keeping the servers up. That's just terrible. I think for games like that, they have to keep it up, or like they just have to create a version. You know, say they stop, then they should have to, like, financially, like, put some money in and create a version of the game where you can just play the single player mode. Yeah, well, I'm interested to see what happens with all this, to be honest. But who knows? Maybe nothing will happen. And we'll just continue to see games disappear as time goes on. Should be a bunch of crystals in here. This is the cave with all the crystals. Looks really cool in here. Why do these guys get so mad that, like, we're taking the crystals like that? This wasn't the cave. Like, the supplies? Maybe that's what happened to the Marshall's expedition. They got overrun by the Stone Guardians. Who knows? Attacking me for taking the supplies back. And another game that supposedly just disappeared recently was The Crew. It was like a MMO car game, kind of, I guess you could call it. Sort of like Forza. And it was also, you know, a live service game. And there's barely anybody playing it, so they shut down the servers. Some people got upset about that, because they purchased it. Right now they can no longer play it. And one thing that was interesting about that game is they had a license with car companies to use, you know, their brand, like, I guess Porsche and Ferrari and all that stuff. And I guess, you know, those licenses eventually, or contracts eventually go up, right? They don't last forever. So I guess that might have been one of the reasons why they wanted to stop, you know, just to stop the game. Because they didn't want to have to, you know, renew their contract with those other car companies for a game that was barely, you know, had any players playing it. Yeah, they shut it down. I think they had like a second game. I don't know if the Crew 2 still exists. Supposedly after the Crew 2 came out, the first version of the game really plummeted, which makes sense. I wonder if you can still play the Crew 2. Oh, I guess, yeah, maybe the Crew 2 is done. Yeah, maybe the Crew franchise is completely finished. Or I was like thinking about buying that game back in the day. I used to be into racing games. And believe it or not, like one of my favorite racing games is Grand Theft Auto 5. It's an arcade style racing game. You know, like it's not realistic like Gran Turismo or anything like that. But it's fun. And people would make, you know, tracks, you know, because they had like their own editor. And people would make pretty good tracks and you make to race on. And they have a pretty solid racing community in Grand Theft Auto. It's actually a big part of the game. And Grand Theft Auto is pretty smart with what they do with vehicles. You know, they don't call like a Dodge Viper a Viper. They call it a Banshee. I don't know if you guys remember that car back in Grand Theft Auto 3. That was my favorite car in Grand Theft Auto 3 was the Banshee. It was pretty much a Viper, a Dodge Viper. And it's smart that they did that because, like, you know, it's like in your head, like you're like, yeah, this is a Viper, but they just call it a Banshee. And I guess that was I assume they don't have to pay any of these car companies or car brands like any money to use their brand because you're not really using their brand, right? It's like a knockoff like it just looks like the cars that they make, I guess you could say. But yeah, GTA 5 racing is a lot of fun. And it seems to be a big part of Grand Theft Auto roleplay, which has gotten pretty popular in the last few years. People race for money and pink slips, and then like cops come and they like, you know, chase the racers down. It's a cool little thing that they got going on. It's one thing I never got into was Grand Theft Auto RP. I assume that's going to be pretty damn popular in GTA 6. I think they're going to focus heavily on probably the RP community because it got huge in GTA 5. Yeah, I'm just rambling on today. I usually ramble a lot. Just rambling today about games. Well, most of the time I talk about WoW. I try to talk about WoW. As much as I can. Alright, so let's go turn these quests in, guys. We did quite a few. I guess we'll finish off the pterodax part. Only need a couple more scales, so might as well. I think we're getting somewhat close. I didn't pick up Here Lies the Danga. Maybe we'll pick that up later. But we were up there. Let's find a few more pterodax. Is that a Devilsaur over there? It's cool to see that there's Devilsaurs still around. It's sad that we weren't able to fight that one. Was kind of hoping we could. But that wasn't the case. We should get a lot of XP for turning these quests in. And there's supposedly 3, right? There's 3 that roam around here. There's one that roams around this way. There's one that roams on this side. And there's one that roams down here. Oh, we've only seen one at the moment.
Have a good one.
Have you obtained the Catar Blossoms yet? I don't see them.
Real.
Oh, there they are. Great work, handsome. Here's some gold. You've earned it.
If you ever need anything.
Tara's done it again. This super sticky glue will be all the rage.
Careful out there.
Yeah, this tar is pretty sticky. I guess I mean it's sticky, but it's not make fistfuls of money sticky. I guess I'll have to keep thinking.
Pleasure doing business with ya.
Alright, so we got Gormash to Gluteness to fight. Find anything good. It's a bunch of junk, but it's a bunch of free junk. And that's all that matters to me. Well, mostly free. Here's your share. Thanks. Excuse me. Alright, so we got some male legs, but it doesn't have any agi on it. It's got intellect on it. So I guess we'll take this wand. Seems to be the item that sells for the most.
Yo!
Every great vehicle needs a name. I was thinking I'd call it Pogue. Yes, these scales are perfect. I should be able to get this flyer off the ground with these scales for sure. Thanks. Alright, so we got some shoulders here. I think are better, even though they're leather. They have 7 haste rating on them and 8 agi, so it's 2 less agi. But the haste rating probably helps. So I'm going to take them and put them on. I know they're not male, which kind of sucks, but I don't think we're really close to being able to get full male specialization, which kind of sucks. We'll probably get that eventually when we're in TBC. It should be soon, actually. We're leveling up pretty quick. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of today's episode. Next episode, we'll continue our leveling in Ungoro Crater. We'll probably hit level 57. Maybe we'll be able to do some new dungeons, I hope. Maybe not. If not, we'll just continue questing in Ungoro. But that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.